You always hear Orson Welles' name when people talk about the greatest filmmakers ever. I mean, Citizen Kane alone basically locked him into that conversation forever. And that was his first movie, but if you asked Welles who the best director in history was, he wouldn't say himself. His pick was David Wark Griffith. That name comes with a whole lot of baggage. Griffith didn't just revolutionize filmmaking, he also made The Birth of a Nation, a movie that's as groundbreaking as it is racist. For a lot of modern filmmakers, that's impossible to ignore. But Welles saw Griffith as the guy who built cinema as we know it. For him, there wasn't even a debate. He said Griffith was the best, better than Eisenstein, even though he admired Eisenstein a lot. And Welles wasn't just looking at technique, he cared about feeling. He once said film should go beyond reality, that the best directors were basically poets. That's why he admired guys like Jean Renoir and John Ford. Renoir especially. Welles thought his films had a kind of raw sensitivity that most directors just didn't have. But when it came to who did the most for the medium itself, Griffith was his guy. Griffith knew he changed everything. He wasn't exactly subtle about it. He once said, "Remember how small the world was before I came along? I brought it all to life. I moved the whole world onto a 20-foot screen." And to be fair, he wasn't wrong. Before him, movies were simple, small scale. Then Griffith comes along and suddenly films have scale. Huge battle scenes, intercutting storylines, camera work that actually means something. The guy pretty much invented the blockbuster. But yeah, there's no getting around The Birth of a Nation. Even Tarantino, who worships old Hollywood, has a serious problem with Griffith. He even said he hates John Ford, partly because Ford starred in Griffith's movie. In his words, Ford put on a Klan uniform for Griffith. What was that about? What did that take? He can't say he didn't know the material. Everybody knew the Klansman at that time as a piece of material, and touring companies were doing plays of it all the time, and yet he put on the Klan uniform. So yeah, Griffith's legacy is complicated. Welles didn't ignore that, but he was focused on what Griffith did for filmmaking itself. And ironically, that puts Welles in the same cycle, because just like he looked up to Griffith, later filmmakers looked up to him. The French New Wave guys, Truffaut, Godard, they saw Welles the way he saw Griffith. They borrowed from him the way he borrowed from Griffith and Renoir.